All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Get After It. I'm your host, Johnny Velarde, and today we're joined with my brother, Clay Velarde. He just turned 28, had a birthday yesterday, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
And how do you feel? You feel older or the same?
Yeah, I feel a little older physically, mentally. Yeah, I feel really good actually. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, we're going to the Bahamas in a couple weeks, our annual trip, so we're excited about that. We're staying at the Cove, which is at Atlantis. Um, we just wanted to talk about the current state of our company and what we're doing, what we're excited for the rest of the year. We are looking to onboard some talent, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in the market for a job. Um, I guess the first thing that's really going well is our shuttles. You want to talk about
Yeah.
what we're using, the type of jobs we're getting?
Yeah, so there's a few parts to our business. The main part being valet, valet parking pros, but we've also been really growing our shuttle fleet and our shuttle operations have been growing tremendously. We've been partnering with a lot of other local companies, big players like Laz and other major companies that use our shuttle services to help them with really big events. For example, on Easter Sunday, we were contracted at a beautiful resort in Santa Barbara called the Rosewood Miramar, and we sent out two shuttles, and they were there from 4 in the morning to about 1 a.m. all day, just shuttling nonstop. And it's these partners that we work with that are helping contribute the growth for our shuttle operations. Not only that, but we've had a lot of recent customers with the film industry. We've been transporting a lot of corporate talent, stuff like that. So we're getting a lot of repeat customers, and we're growing our fleet of drivers. A lot of professional, properly insured and licensed drivers that have a ton of experience. So it's been really, really awesome. I'm really excited about the shuttle opportunities that are coming.
Yeah. Yeah, we just bought in the last 6 months, we purchased a 28, seater Gretsch bus, so shout out to Gretsch because they make really nice luxury buses. Think of, like, I don't know, Rolls-Royce or, Bentley, like, that's what Gretsch is in the bus world, the comparable. So we have a 28-seater of that, we have a 22-seater as well, and then we have many 14-passenger shuttles. So we kinda have the best of all 3 worlds because you can have the compact shuttles or you can have the big buses. Um
Yeah, and driving in California, you might ask yourself, well, why don't you just have all 28 passengers? Well, if you don't know the California landscape, I'll help inform you. There's a lot of windy roads and tight spots like in Malibu, Santa Monica, Venice Beach, Beverly Hills, where you can't pull into a driveway with a 28 passenger F650 bus. It's not possible. You'll scratch the bus or you'll hit a tree or whatnot. So that's where the little sprinters come into play. You can still seat 14 people very comfortably, and that's just like a really big. Think of like a long F-150. I mean, it can fit pretty much anywhere. So those are awesome, and we're really, really happy with them. The only issue that I can see us running into is storing all of them. Right now, we're partnering with an RV storage company down the street from our office, which is actually really convenient. The only issue is the RV storage facility, they close their gates at 8 p.m. So a lot of the times when our drivers are getting back at 1 in the morning, 2 a.m., we have to invent a spot to park the bus overnight. So it's not sustainable long term. We're making it work for now, but definitely in the near future in the Ventura County area, we'd like to find a new facility where we can store all of our buses.
Yeah, so if you're in, the Valley or Ventura County, ideally, like, Thousand Oaks, Westlake, Simi, if you have a big commercial spot with extra spaces, think of, like, a church or an industrial complex, and you just have all these parking spaces that with no need, you could possibly rent some of that space out to people like us, because
Yeah.
we would pay a couple $100 a month per vehicle just to have a nice, safe place to park with no issues.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, and Johnny and I were talking about, like, what do we like better in terms of valet or shuttles? I love both. Both bookings, both types of bookings. I love getting a massive valet deal where we have 25, 30 valets on for 8 hours. Parking's, fairly easy. That's great. I also love the deals where we have 8 sprinters running for 12 hours nonstop. What do I prefer more? Personally, I like the shuttles a little bit more, and this is the reasons why. Uh, First and foremost, it's the it's the liability. There's liability with both, but in my opinion, I think shuttling, there's less liability. You're very unlikely to lose a key. You're way less likely to have a fender bender. The drivers aren't rushing to park the cars. And also these drivers that are in the buses, they've gone through schooling for commercial licenses. So although we have mature and professional valet drivers, they don't necessarily go through that commercial driving training. So there is a little bit more, I guess, experience under the commercial driver's belts.
mhm. Yeah, and some of the what we're seeing in our CRM for quote requests is we're getting a lot of movie producers, film producers, corporate clients that are reaching out for like we're this beach life festival in Redondo Beach. Like they're reaching out because their talent needs sprinters to go back and forth all day. We've had multiple stuff for Coachella. It's tough to make Coachella deals work because Motel 6 is charging $800 a night for a room, so it's just unrealistic to send your guy down there for 3 days. But yeah, a lot of wedding venues in Malibu, Ojai, uh, Santa Barbara, Montecito, Pasadena, um, Beverly Hills, so things like that.
Yeah, yeah, and in the future, I think how Parking Pros is escalating. I have a inclination that we're gonna start doing more shuttles. We're still gonna be doing a lot of valet, but I can already see the tables kind of turning. Before 3 years ago, 80% of our revenue was valet, 20% was shuttles. Now it's probably 55% valet, 45% shuttles. And I'd like to see it get to like 70% shuttles, 30% valet. Um, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The clients, they love our drivers. We've gotten some really, really excellent reviews lately, and we take good care of them. So we'll see what happens. A lot of our drivers come from movie industries because as you guys know, in California, the regulations and laws and everything are making it really tough for these film producers to make shows and movies and whatnot. So a lot of those drivers that were driving for those industries are not driving for us. So if the movie industry comes back, we could lose some drivers, but we'll have to pivot if that ever comes down to it.
Mhm. Yeah, and then, another thing we've been working on is, like, just trying to with all the technology, with you got different AI tools, CRM tools, accounting tools. We're trying to just like remove the parts that are unnecessary. So, like an example for us is we use HubSpot as our CRM, very popular CRM. There's Salesforce and a few others. We use HubSpot. We were using Dropbox to like get contracts electronically signed. There's also DocuSign. We just happen to use Dropbox, and then we would use like a third party payment processor. It's just too many levels. Like, so we just removed Dropbox and now HubSpot you can electronically sign within the platform. It's a little more expensive, but it's way more seamless for the customer and it just saves a step. Like if you
Mhm.
do the math and you're having thousands of contracts signed per year, that's a lot of time wasted from your sales manager, like having to re-enter the two-factor authentication code, resend it, and like leave, it's just distracting. It's just easier to send the quote, make it signable, and then forget about it instead of follow-up task. So that's something that we've been doing, just figuring out ways to remove unnecessary steps, and it's been helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and another Johnny mentioned on the beginning of the show about bringing on some more talent. This has been kind of an ever lasting endeavor for us. We've been looking for an operations expert in the Southern California area now for going on, I'd say, 6 or 7 months. We're looking for an expert that has experience managing massive teams, like 50, 60, 70 people on any given day. And they have to be willing to put in the hours on the weekends, Friday night, Saturday night, because that's where when the events are happening. So if you or someone that's interested that ideally has experience in the parking or shuttle space and extra points if they can speak Spanish, send them our way because we're desperately not desperately, but we're definitely looking to bring them on ASAP. So
Did you already talk about the salary range for that, or is it just based on
it's gonna
experience?
base off experience, but I mean, in the Southern California market, for this role, you're definitely looking at six figures, low six figures. So, that's a competitive rate, especially given in the parking industry. So that's what we're looking at, and you can message me or call me for more details.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then one thing we in the last 6 months between talking to our tax professionals and our bankers is like, if you're a business owner, or even it's probably more attuned if you own a business, but you have your money in your business checking account, and sometimes you just have a lot of money in there, which is a good problem to have. But like if it's just sitting there not working for you, you're kind of losing money with
Mhm.
inflation. So just use an example. Let's say you have $100,000 in your business checking account, and really you only at any given time you really only need like 30 or 40 of it. Put 30, 40, 50K of that in like a CD or a money market, like a 3 month or 6 month, whatever you're comfortable with. And that's what we did. And it's just a good way to make a couple $1,000 a year or
Mhm.
multiple thousands a year in interest by doing nothing. Cause it is nice to have it just sitting there in your checking account, but if you can have it make a couple thousand extra a year, I mean that money could go to pay for your company party. It could pay for a claim that you have. It could pay for a trip. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
and it
a
compounds. Yeah,
yeah.
you do that if you're always constantly doing that, that's an extra that can boil down to 10, 15, 20,000 extra per year. So that's huge. And you compound that over 50 years in business, now you're talking serious coin that you're saving. So yeah, look at some extra avenues where you can invest the money, focus on reinvesting in your team and your fleet. And yeah, Parking Pros is really looking forward to a great rest of the year. We've been meeting with our business coach, Rick English, every other week on Wednesdays. He's really been getting our systems dialed in.
Yeah, shout out to Rick English from Meridian, Idaho.
Yeah, he's excellent. And now we're starting to coach some people too. We've gotten some hustlers in Hawaii that are trying to get some parking lots under their belt, and they just emailed us before we hopped on the show. They've already got someone that's willing to lease them a lot in a prime spot in Honolulu.
Oh, there's
So
one.
we're gonna consult with them this week about that. Hopefully, get them a lot secured, and yeah, it's looking really really good. So we're looking forward to a good rest of the month of April.
Yeah, the building that we're in, we closed on this mid February of this year, 2026, and it was listed, and it's in St. Augustine, Florida. It was listed for 1.75. We ended up getting it for 1.35. After doing an inspection, we ended up knocking like 40K, 35K off, another 35K. So yeah, we're reinvesting and going all in on the parking.
Yeah.
We're not buying stupid cars and Lamborghinis and dumb shit like that. We're reinvesting in our business and trying to help it grow. So yeah, we're excited. The building that we're in has a lot back here, and then it has a lot in the front. And it's a rainy Tuesday, and literally when we came back from lunch, the whole front lot was full. We're charging like $12 a car on a Tuesday, but like that's an extra, I don't know, 15 times 12, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, over the course of the entire year, it's gonna pay for most of the mortgage, and that's value add. The office has been listed for or was listed for over a year, I think.
2 years.
2 years, and how many people drove past that lot and never thought about parking? And that's the beauty about parking. No one understands the money behind it. So we made it work, and we're excited to see what we can actually do in parking revenue here. And that's unmanned. All we have are parking lot signs that say park here and scan a code. So
Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're in a market, a lot of the markets that we really like would be like Newport, Rhode Island would be a really good market for a parking lot, like a surface lot. Places like Savannah, Georgia, maybe think of like Key West where parking's really tough.
any
St. Augustine,
anywhere with a good walkability. I mean, it
yeah,
could even be near a baseball stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Like it could be. It's just got to be a lot of stores, a lot of popping off spots
Old
going
Town,
around.
San Diego, Santa Barbara, Venice Beach, California, places like that where it's just difficult to find parking. That's where you want to be, and doesn't always have to be a surface lot. That's obviously ideal, but it could be like a little business with 10 spaces in the back, or it could be a gas station. Maybe you own a Arco gas station and you have a side strip with open space. Put
Hmm.
4 cars there a day. That's an extra $80 a day times 365. Do the math.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
mm-hmm,
We love parking, and we're going all in on it. And I
mm-hmm.
think in a perfect world, as we get older and grow the business, personally for me, my what I absolutely love are the parking lot plays, but it's difficult. It's a hard barrier to entry. It's not like a valet parking business where it's a low barrier to entry. Buying real estate is difficult. So the end goal is to have 10, 20, 30 parking lots and basically just get that passive income. But it takes time. It's not just going to happen overnight.
Yeah, and you gotta about the doing starting and doing the little events, that's what fueled everything. So
Yeah.
you gotta find your whether, it could be any business. You could be a freaking hairstylist or a barber and just working out of your garage, and then eventually you lease your own store, and then eventually you buy your own store, and then eventually you are leasing all your chairs out and not doing shit. You just charge, your expensive fee to do the clients that you want to do. So it takes time, and yeah, there's a lot of failures along the way, and you just got to make sure you don't quit because when shit gets tough, that's when you gotta uh
Buckle up.
yeah, that's when you gotta keep going strong. So yeah, but definitely reach out if you're interested in doing some parking coaching. We got one guy in Miami, one guy in Waikiki, um, and they seem to be very interested. So if you want anything parking or shuttles related, we can definitely help you out. Feel free to reach out. valetparkingpros.com. You can find us on Instagram, Parking Mogul,
Clay Velarde
Clay Velarde.
or at Ballet Parking Pros.
Yeah, that's it for today. Please give us a like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And leave a comment. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. And we're excited for the rest of 2026 and hope you guys have a great year. Get after it. See ya.